The support class is just so much better than every single other class that if there was a way where I could use an assault class that has ammo replenishing with the fast regen, I'd probably use that. Like if the assault class had smokes on that class and it had the fast regen with the ammo packs, I'd probably use it. But you run out of ammo with every single one with recon, engineer. I'm not the type of player to really repair tanks. So let me know in the comments if you guys agree. They definitely need to rebalance, I think, support, because I think it's just so overpowered. I wouldn't be shocked if I queue into a game and there's 62 players who have support on my squad. I just wanted to quickly address that because it's just one of those things where it's like, it's not really my fault. The support is just so overpowered that I just happen to run it. Fast regen, more ammo. You give me a head glitch too as well.
Harsh reality, heads in. Let me get your ears and your eyeballs. Here it is, guys. Okay. How many of you are, let's say, over 21 in the streams? Right. Pretty much fucking everybody. You don't matter anymore. These goddamn game developers, these companies, they don't care about your dumbass no more. But every year, a horde of them, a barrage of just little warriors begin to play Call of Duty. They care about the kids, because the kids are going to play the game a lot more than your dumbass is going to play the game. And they're going to make a lot more money off that kid than they're going to make off you. Because that kid is going to find your credit card. And that kid is going to want that Godzilla skin. But your kid, he wants that. And he's going to buy it. And you're not going to charge it back. That is why Call of Duty is not going anywhere. Now, it's 100 people making the game. 80 of them are making cosmetics, 20 of them are making the game. Hey, people blame streamers, but y'all motherfuckers are buying them too.
You ever watch something online and just think, there's no way he actually said that? That was the reaction across the internet when FaZe Swag, yes, the same guy who's been streaming Call of Duty like it's his religion, decided to suggest that Battlefield 6 should have kill streaks and UAVs. That's right, Battlefield, the franchise built on massive maps, chaos, and teamwork, now apparently needs kill streaks. And look, it's not like people haven't said wild stuff on stream before, but this hit differently. Because for the Battlefield community, the ones who've been flying jets into tanks and dropping from helicopters since the early 2000s, this wasn't just a dumb take. It was like someone walking into a quiet library and firing an RPG. The internet reacted instantly. Tweets, memes, clips, all flying faster than a COD quickscope. And within hours, that one throwaway comment from Swag had turned into the gaming argument of the week. But here's where it gets funny. Instead of brushing it off, laughing, and moving on, Swag leaned right into it. He doubled down, said people were too sensitive, and started mocking Battlefield fans as 50-year-old dads who don't get jokes. That's when it went from funny to fascinating. Because the guy who's built his brand on rage baiting, on getting people mad for content, was suddenly the one getting cooked alive by his own audience. And the deeper you look, the more you realize. This wasn't just about Battlefield. It was about ego, attention, and the weird world of online outrage farming. So, let's rewind to where this all began. It's a normal stream. Swag's laughing with his friends, talking about upcoming shooters, and then casually drops this gem. I feel like a UAV kill streak would punch on Battlefield 6. Wouldn't that punch chat? At first, it sounds harmless. Just another streamer tossing an idea around. But the problem is, Battlefield players hate the idea of becoming anything like Call of Duty. The two games might look similar on the surface, first-person shooters, military setting, but underneath, they're completely different beasts. Call of Duty is all about pace, reflexes, and flashy moments. Battlefield, on the other hand, is about chaos that feels organic, vehicles, teamwork, and those unpredictable holy shot moments that no scripted game can replicate. So, when Swag casually suggested adding COD-style features like UAVs and kill streaks, it was like saying, hey, what if chess had airstrikes? The Battlefield community saw it as sacrilege. Within minutes, clips of his comments spread everywhere. Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, even gaming forums that hadn't mentioned Swag in years. And what's wild is, if you look at the clip closely, you can tell he knows what he's doing. That sly grin, the tone, the little laugh afterward. It wasn't some deep insight. It was bait. He was tossing red meat into a shark tank, waiting for a reaction. And he got it. Hundreds of quote tweets, thousands of comments, and millions of views later. People were arguing about him non-stop. Some called him clueless, others said he was trolling. But almost everyone was talking about him. That's when you realize this wasn't just a take. It was a strategy. A perfectly timed drop of chaos right before the hype cycle for Battlefield 6 kicked off. Except, he didn't expect the chaos to turn around and bite him. Let's be honest, rage bait has become a business model. Hot takes are currency now. You throw something ridiculous into the timeline, and suddenly you're everywhere. Even if people hate what you said, especially if they hate what you said, you win. And FaZe Swag knows that game better than anyone. He's one of the most watched COD creators out there. He's no stranger to stirring the pot. He's done it before with opinions about Warzone, about skill-based matchmaking, even about other creators. But this time, the bait worked too well. The Battlefield crowd didn't just argue. They roasted him into oblivion. People started calling him Call of Duty's PR manager, posting memes like swag when he doesn't see a UAV every 5 seconds, and editing fake Battlefield trailers with kill streaks included. Still, Swag didn't back down. He laughed it off on stream, saying stuff like, "Bro, y'all are acting like 50-year-old dads. It's a joke." But here's where things got awkward. If it was just a joke, why did he keep defending it? When someone's truly trolling, they drop the bait, walk away, and let the chaos unfold. Swag? He was in the replies, quote tweeting people, arguing back, and even making it sound like everyone else was the problem. It's like he wanted the attention, but not the consequences. And that's where the mask started to slip. Because when you play the rage bait game long enough, eventually, you're the one who gets baited. And the internet was ready for that moment. There's a golden rule of the internet. If you're going to dish it out, you better be ready to take it. Swag didn't seem ready. Once his sensitive dad's comment dropped, it was over. Reddit threads popped up within hours. Entire pages dedicated to breaking down every contradiction he's ever made. People dug up old clips where he complained about Battlefield's vehicles, saying he hates tanks and can't stand vehicles with gunners. Battlefield players started quoting that back at him. So, you hate Battlefield's vehicles but want kill streaks? Interesting. And then the roasting began. Memes of Swag rage-quitting games. Mocked up tweets like, breaking, FaZe Swag suggests adding kill streaks to chess. Knights now get UAVs. One post even said, imagine calling people sensitive while crying over pixels in a tank. At that point, even people who weren't Battlefield fans were jumping in just for entertainment. The comments section became a free-for-all. COD players were clowning Battlefield fans for being too serious. Battlefield players were clowning COD fans for being too brain-rotted. And Swag was right in the middle of it, half laughing, half clearly annoyed. But the thing is, this isn't the first time he's cracked when the internet turned on him. And that's exactly why so many people found it funny. Because when you spend your whole career acting like you don't care what anyone says, the worst thing you can do is start caring publicly. And that's exactly what he did. Here's where everything starts to unravel. Swag's response wasn't just defensive. It exposed the contradiction at the heart of his persona. See, this is the same guy who said, multiple times, that anyone who dislikes a new Call of Duty just isn't good at it. His words, not mine. He's mocked people for not being able to adapt, saying if you hate COD, it's a skill issue. But then, when people push back against his Battlefield take, suddenly they're the ones being sensitive. That's the irony. He's the one projecting. He's calling out others for doing exactly what he's been doing for years, getting defensive over opinions. Think about it. If someone truly believes in what they're saying, they don't spend hours replying to critics. They don't tweet paragraphs about being misunderstood. They don't start acting like the victim because people didn't get the joke. And yet, that's what Swag did. He started replying to smaller creators, quote tweeting Battlefield fans, and basically feeding the fire he started. It's like throwing gasoline on a bonfire and then complaining that it's too hot. The wild part is, he's not wrong that the internet can be overly reactive, but when you constantly poke that reaction on purpose, you lose the right to play innocent. Because at that point, you're not just making content, you're manufacturing outrage. And once the audience realizes that, the illusion starts to crack. That's the thing about rage bait culture. It works until it doesn't. Eventually, people stop seeing you as funny or clever and start seeing you as desperate. And whether Swag realizes it or not, that's the vibe people started picking up from this whole situation. It's not the Battlefield take itself that's hurting him. It's the way he handled the aftermath. Because when you've built your image around confidence and control, showing insecurity is like blood in the water. And the internet never forgets the smell of blood.
You want me to sacrifice everything that I've done this match to go res these goofballs all the way over? Hell no. There's a tank between us and 6 guys down, and they want me to burst through the tank like I'm Superman and res everybody. What I said was I'm kind of like a part-time medic, right? I use a support class. It's the most overpowered class in the entire game. It's a support class. So you support your teammates by helping them cross with the smokes, which I use all the time. So like I said, I usually res people around me, of course, and I res my teammates anywhere they're on the map. But I'm not like TikTok Steve on TikTok going around resing 500 times a game. Run support. You know, I support everybody on the squad with the smokes, with the ammo, with the barricades, and it really is OP. So let me know in the comments if you guys agree. They definitely need to rebalance, I think, support, because I think it's just so overpowered. And please, there's no clip on the internet where I said I hate Battlefield 6. 80% of the time I'm having fun.
But here's the thing, right? We're not talking about the average casual here. We're not talking about the scat master. We're talking about the breed of players that have just migrated from Call of Duty. And as you saw in that previous clip from his homie, these guys are known to not play the objective. So when he's detailing how people are complaining at him that he needs to start reviving people, my initial impression is that there's probably been multiple times where he might need to go out of his way just a little bit and maybe risk his life, kind of.
They're not going to, man. That's just how these Call of Duty players are.
So now the question becomes, was this just another internet flare-up, or is it something deeper? Because the more you look at this, the more it starts to reveal something bigger. Not just about swag, but about content culture itself. Why do so many creators feel like they have to spark drama to stay relevant? Why is rage bait the easiest way to go viral in gaming now? And most importantly, what happens when the outrage stops working? Because from here on out, the story takes a turn. And let's just say, the irony hasn't even peaked yet. Here's where we zoom out for a second. Because this whole swag versus Battlefield thing, it's not just one streamer making a bad take. It's a symptom of something bigger, the content economy that's built entirely on outrage. The truth is, online culture has made controversy the easiest marketing tool ever invented. You don't need ad campaigns. You don't even need good opinions. You just need one viral moment that makes people argue. Every angry quote tweet is free advertising. Every reaction video is an extra upload. Every roast in the comments boosts engagement. And that's the trap. Creators start chasing that adrenaline rush of attention, even if it means saying something ridiculous. The lines between what's real and what's bait disappear. Swag knows this game well. He's not the only one doing it. Far from it. You see it across gaming, politics, even lifestyle vlogs now. One bad take equals 1 million impressions. One, did he just say that? Moment equals a paycheck. But the danger is that the audience eventually catches on. Once people realize you're poking them on purpose, they stop feeling played with and start feeling played. And when that happens, credibility collapses overnight. The Battlefield situation wasn't just backlash, it was a warning sign. A reminder that audiences crave authenticity, not algorithms in human form. And yet, that's the paradox of modern content. The very system that rewards authenticity also punishes it. Because being real doesn't always go viral. Being outrageous does.
And then the big question that a lot of people are talking about is, do you guys feel like Battlefield 6 needs a battle royale? The multiplayer is great. I actually do enjoy it a lot. I think it's super fun. I just think with how much money they've put into this game, rumor was around $500 million. It was inevitable for them to do a battle royale. And why not? I think it's one of those things where, you know, you don't have to play if you don't want to. It's going to be free to play. I think a battle royale is great to have because it attracts new players without having to spend $100 on a game. So somebody who have never touched Battlefield in their entire life could play the battle royale for free and be like, dang, I really want to try the multiplayer and see what it's like, and kind of just integrate into
Why
it.
are all the content creators that are talking shit about Battlefield players calling everybody dads and shit? Like, it's not like they're the ones also playing Battlefield, and the majority of COD players are also coming over to play Battlefield now until Black Ops 7 releases. So how is it just dads and uncles? I just don't get it. I don't know, man. Like, me personally, I'm a Call of Duty player, but I'm not dumb. I'm not delusional where I understand that the way Battlefield should be played. So, like, am I a dad or uncle for saying that they shouldn't be going for kills? Even if they're assault, they should be playing objective, not just going for kills. I don't know. Am I lost here?
If you want proof of how deep this divide runs, just look at the two communities that went to war over this clip. On one side, you've got the Battlefield crowd. Older, methodical, nostalgic for the days when teamwork mattered more than TikTok clips. On the other, you've got the Call of Duty fan base, fast, flashy, and addicted to that constant dopamine of wins, kills, and highlights. Two completely different energies clashing in one timeline. The Battlefield fans started roasting Swag for not understanding real warfare gameplay. The COD fans fired back, calling Battlefield players boomers who can't keep up. And suddenly, what started as a dumb joke about kill streaks became a generational battle about what real gaming even means. You'd think it would stop there, but the memes kept escalating. People made fake trailers like Battlefield 6, now featuring TikTok dances and loot boxes. Others joked that Swag would want kill cams in Red Dead Redemption next. It got ridiculous, but also strangely revealing, because beneath all the trolling, there's this undercurrent of frustration. Battlefield fans feel their game is constantly overshadowed by COD's flashy marketing. COD fans feel like Battlefield players act elitist, and creators like Swag end up becoming the lightning rods that carry that tension. The sad part, neither community is really wrong. Both are passionate, Both love shooters. Both just want their game to feel respected. But social media doesn't reward nuance. It rewards fire. So the more people argue, the more viral it gets. The algorithm eats the outrage, digests it, and asks for seconds. And the creators, they keep serving it up, whether they mean it or not. But the real twist comes next, when the outrage stops being just a tool and starts becoming personal. Because here's the wildest part. After the initial backlash faded, Swag started doing something no one expected, reacting to reaction videos about himself. And that's when the mask fully slipped. He joked about haters, but you could hear the frustration underneath. He'd pause mid-clip to correct people, defend himself, even throw a few subtle shots back. The guy who once said, "I don't care what anyone thinks," suddenly cared a lot. And the irony didn't stop there. Some smaller creators who criticized him reported their videos being flagged or copyright claimed. The same thing Swag once mocked other influencers for doing. Now, he was the one policing what people said about him. It's poetic, really. The man who claimed everyone else was too sensitive couldn't handle being the punchline of his own joke. And that's when fans started asking the uncomfortable question. Was this entire thing just a stunt that went too far? Or did it expose who he really is? Because the truth is, fame changes how people react to criticism. When you've got millions of followers, every tweet feels like a headline. Every joke feels like an attack. And somewhere along the way, the line between content and identity disappears. Swag might have started the clip as a troll, but by the end, it was clear. He wasn't trolling anymore. He was taking it personally. And maybe that's why the clip hit so hard. Because it wasn't just one guy losing his cool. It was a mirror of every influencer who's ever played with fire online and thought they'd never get burned. So, what do we take from all this? Maybe the lesson isn't about Battlefield or Call of Duty at all. Maybe it's about how online culture rewards the loudest voice, even when that voice stops making sense. Swag's comment didn't ruin gaming. It didn't destroy communities, but it did pull back the curtain, showing how fragile that balance is between confidence and insecurity, between trolling and truth. Because the more you chase attention, the more it controls you. The moment you depend on outrage to stay relevant, you're no longer steering the content's steering you. And that's why this whole saga matters. It's not about one viral tweet. It's about how easily creators, all of us, really, can get lost in the noise of validation. Swag wanted to make a point. Instead, he became one. A reminder that being unbothered online is often just a performance, and that the audience can always tell when it's fake. So the next time someone says, "Bro, it's just a joke, y'all are too sensitive," maybe ask yourself, if it's really just a joke, why are they the ones still talking about it? Because in the end, it wasn't the 50-year-old dads who got baited. It was the influencer who couldn't stop checking the comments. And maybe, just maybe, that's the most Battlefield thing of all, taking friendly fire from your own team. Anyway, what do you think? Did Swag go too far, or are people just taking him too seriously? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into gaming drama, and as always, stay smart, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.